Good morning, welcome back. Today is Thursday, and today is a very busy day for us. So Evie has a dentist appointment at 10 o'clock, and I had to call and confirm that because we never got a reminder call, which is weird. But she has an appointment at 10 o'clock, and then we have bass lessons at 2:30. So it doesn't make sense with the price of gas to run the whole way home. It would be like probably 12 or 13 miles each direction. So we're just going to stay out. We have to do our grocery shopping on Thursdays anyway. So I am working on packing a lunch. It is 8:37 and we have to leave here by 9:30. So working on packing a lunch with whatever I had on hand. So that's going to look like chicken salad sandwiches or peanut butter and jelly, depending on what they want. I think I have enough buns. If not, maybe we'll have to stop and get that. Or I can I have a couple of tortillas, maybe that. And then we have apples, and I have some tortilla chips, and I am baking some cookies. The place that we get our bulk orders from had 20 pound boxes of cookie dough for like $7. So we bought one of those. So I'm just baking 2 trays of cookies to take with us. I might mix up some lemonade to take. It's drizzly right now, but if it clears up, that would be nice. If not, we'll just find a pavilion somewhere and eat lunch. And then, like I said, we have to do our groceries. I am taking a little bit of money out of our gift budget toward Easter candy if I want to do anything for the kids for Sunday. But I don't know what we're having for Easter dinner yet because we'll go the day before to my family and have the traditional, ham and mashed potatoes and all that. So I'm not sure, but I have $73 to work with plus Easter candy. So it shouldn't take long to spend it. And then we'll be headed to bass lessons and then back home. But then this evening, Dan and I have a meeting with some people about a possible business thing that we will talk more about. Whether we decide to do this thing or not, I'll share about it later. But right now we're still in the decision-making process. So we've got that this evening. So we'll leave here in a little bit and be out until about 3:30. And then about 5 o'clock, we'll have to leave again for that meeting. So it's a very, very busy day, especially for us. We don't do well running like that, but it just worked out that this is when everything has to happen. So I'm going to go finish making lunch. So we've got chicken salad without craisins and almonds, and chicken salad with craisins and almonds. We've got buns and chips, cups, peanut butter and jelly, apples, a fork for the pickles, spoons for the jelly and the chicken salad, a knife for apples, and then knives, butter knives for the ones who can't eat sandwiches whole because they have braces, and one for the peanut butter, paper towels, paper plates, and then we have this left from somebody's birthday. So we're going to make some of that and take a jug of water, and then the cookies are almost done. My husband was given this bag by some friends, and the bottom part is insulated, so we have the jelly and cheese and chicken salad in there. I'm just going to add an ice pack, and then we'll put everything else on the top that's not insulated. I'm taking my paperwork for my bookkeeping course with me so that while Aaron's doing bass lessons, I can work on that since I didn't get up early enough this morning to do it. So my notebook for taking notes, and this is the workbook that you do the practice tests in, or the self-check tests kind of things. Anyway, taking that with me, do something constructive. I pulled out 2 pounds of sausage to thaw for dinner. I think I'm just going to run to Aldi and get a couple of boxes of dirty rice mix, and we'll do that for dinner. Elizabeth can fix that while we're at our meeting and then be able to eat as soon as we get home. So we got Evie's appointment taken care of, And we are at the park now. The kids have been playing for like 20 minutes. We're gonna eat lunch and then find something else to do. I tried to go get gas at what Upside told me was the cheapest place, and it wasn't. It's now $4.18 where we are per gallon of regular unleaded, so yay.
I'm not gonna come up, I'm gonna go downstairs. Oh, these things, Abby, what is these things? That you go down there. What? You go down that? Oh, we're up it. I'm climbing back up this. Jump down, go down, go down. Okay, I'm gonna watch you now. Doodle. How am I supposed to get out? Yes, go out. Go magic.
We had our lunch and finished up at the first playground, and then we went around the park, and the little kids wanted to play at this one for a little bit before we head out. And then I think we're gonna go get gas and go to Five Below and see if we can find a gift for my son's girlfriend, and then go to Dollar General, I think, are the next couple of stops. But I told them they could have a few minutes here before we left. So the footage that you just saw was from a few days ago on Thursday. It's Saturday today, the day before Easter, and we are getting ready soon to go to Pennsylvania to do Easter with my family. It's about an hour, a little bit more than an hour from us. Dan and the boys had a men's breakfast this morning at church, so just the girls and I have been here. And so I didn't finish that video the other day. I wanted to talk about the meeting that we had a little bit and close it out that way, but by the time we got home, it was just not gonna happen. So after we had been at the playground and we did our shopping, we did bass lessons, we came home for about an hour and a half, and I made dinner quick and left it so that we could just reheat it, because just Dan and I were going to this business meeting. And we went, and then we came home, and by the time we got home, it was like 7:30. Ate quick and went to bed, basically. So I can't really say a ton about this thing that we're looking into, except that we would like to ask people to pray, just to know God's will for this. It's an opportunity that was kind of just dropped in our laps. We didn't go looking for it. And at this point, we're just walking through doors as they're open. So as long as nothing comes up that makes us think like, oh wow, we shouldn't be doing this, we're just continuing on to the next step and the next step and the next step. If this all happens, it will, first of all, it's something Dan and I, neither one, have ever done and never even really thought about, and yet it seems like everything is just lining up for it, and it's just such a God thing. So we're holding it loosely, you know, that maybe this will work out, and if it does, it would mean that Dan would be home more. It would also mean that I am busier in a different kind of way, because I wouldn't be home all the time. And so we're just holding it and saying, Lord, you know what your plan is for us, and we don't want to do anything that's outside of that plan. And we know from experience, we've said this, that when God says yes, sometimes it's hard to know. It's like, oh, is it just coincidence? Is it whatever? But when God says no, we usually know what it means. So there have been lots of times where we thought, oh, this thing is such a good idea. We tried to move, we tried to do different businesses, we tried to do all kinds of things, and just door after door after door is shut, and there is no pushing against it. And so if that happens with this, then we're gonna know it's not the right thing for us, at least right now, or maybe ever. Like I said, this is not something that we went looking for, but if we're able to tell you the story someday of how this has all worked out, I feel like you're going to be as amazed as we are walking through it. So we're just praying for God's peace, and that we would hold things loosely and just allow Him to work in our lives. So the meeting I was really nervous about, just because like there's a financial aspect, but it's not our financial aspect. Going into this, we have nothing in it. We're not buying anything or whatever, but someone we know kind of has a financial input into this. And I don't like talking about other people's finances, you know, I don't mind talking about mine, but I was nervous about that. I was nervous about going and talking to these people, even though I know them all. It was just kind of nerve-wracking for me, but it went really well. I felt like God was in it. We were able to talk about the Lord, and it was just a group of Christians talking and trying to decide what the best thing is for everybody involved. So we came home feeling encouraged, a little bit hopeful, but again, not tied to it, not saying, oh yeah, this is for sure going to happen and we're going to fight for it. So anyway, it went well, and so that was Thursday, and then yesterday I was just cleaning and stuff. We were supposed to have co-op. We were supposed to go thrift shopping. We didn't get to do either one because it was Good Friday, and I completely forgot about it, and so we didn't, the thrift stores weren't open, and we ended up canceling co-op because some people were sick and it didn't make sense for such a small number of us to get together, so we were just home. And so now it's Saturday. So what I have been doing this morning is cleaning out my freezers. I told you guys the other day I needed to do that, and so before I close out this video, I'm just going to show you what they're looking like right now. So this is our little freezer. I don't even remember where it came from. It's a Frigidaire. It's very old, but it works like a beast. And so this is what it's looking like inside. I just finished organizing it. We're missing one of the things for the door, and at one point it got left open to defrost and there's a little bit of mold. But so this is all sausage, applesauce. The bottom shelf here is chicken. There's 3 trays of leg quarters and 1 of chicken breasts. And then in the bottom there are ham hocks and some cooked chicken. This is all hams. I think we have 5 more hams. And then a big bag of bacon. These are pork chops. Back behind it is rope sausage, like the, lengths, but all in one rope. 2 packages of ground beef. This is bacon. And behind that is a little bit more of this and 4 pounds of ground turkey. These are 2, I think they're 10-pound bags of chicken wings. Back behind there are some ribs, and there's ribs on top. This is just ham broth. These are these little, like the things in Cosmic Brownies that we got a really good deal on. There's 2 pork roasts back there from the grocery store because we don't get roasts with our pigs. And then cookie dough there on the bottom. So that is our full freezer. And then we have our big freezer that we just bought a couple of years ago. And this is what is inside of it. Oh, I need to move that pumpkin. Pumpkin should be over here. So most of this is not meat. If I can get it to stay. So we've got a bag of corn, a bag of peas. This is breaded okra that I did from the garden that needs to get used up. There's a bag of Brussels sprouts in there that needs to be used up. And then 2 packages of meat that somebody gave us. One is like turkey thighs and the other one is St. Louis style ribs, I think. These are smoothie things that I've had forever and I need to use them, but they're expensive, so I just keep holding on to them, which is dumb. I have 2 bags of cranberries there. Again, those need to be used up, but we don't really like cranberries. They were just cheap, so I need to use up the cranberries. These are mulberries from my mom's tree. So most of this is peaches. There's another row behind it that's all sliced peaches, and then peaches over to here. There's a couple bags of pumpkin, and then that one up there. 2 bags of strawberries left. Yeah, I don't have any blueberries left. So this is empty, this is empty. We're getting those strawberries and blueberries, but they'll all fit on one shelf. And then the part of a cow that's coming. This is like cookie ingredients and things. There's like some seeds and nuts and chocolate chips and that kind of thing. And then this is greens and stuff from our garden, kale and zucchini. We still have some orange syrup in here that needs to be used up, wheat germ, These I got when I was losing weight before, and they're like, I don't even know. Strawberries, raspberries, and Greek yogurt. They're like little balls, kind of like Dippin' Dots. Those I got forever ago, and I thought they would freeze well, and they don't, so I need to use them up somehow. This is green peppers, multicolored peppers, onions, 1 bag of green beans from our garden, and some rhubarb is all that's in that freezer. And then we have the fridge freezer, and this is kind of an issue. So in the refrigerator, I've got 4 gallons of milk, a couple boxes of butter, a small thing of Greek yogurt, 1 thing of kibasi, 2 boxes of cream cheese, the hard-boiled eggs that we dyed yesterday. In there is a cauliflower and a cabbage, a couple eggs. We can't use this bottom very much because it gets water in it. And that's also why we're not really using this freezer.
She won't stop trying to look at
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on a second, please. I've got 1 thing of orange juice in there that just needs to be used, and a couple of ice packs, but I think this seal is bad. Like, these are elderberries, but I can't get them off. Eventually I'm gonna have to empty the fridge and turn it off and clean this really well. But because it lets just a little bit of air in, we don't put any meat in here anymore, and we were keeping other things in there, but it just, as it lets air in, then it condensates and the water runs down. So we have this tub in here that catches water. Eventually we will have to replace it, but today is not that day. We're not replacing it right now. So I'm just trying to keep that freezer basically empty. I might, once I unplug it, clean it all up, I think I might just put jugs of water in there just so it doesn't have to work extra hard. Actually, I might even do that now, because I know freezers work more efficiently when they're full. But I can't really put anything in there that is important. And yeah, like I said, the fridge we can only use partially. So that is what they're looking like. Hopefully they're going to be fuller soon. Hopefully we'll find some deals on some meat. Like I said, we have tons of pork because we have the pigs, and we have some beef coming, but we need to get some chicken. I do have 1 whole chicken in there, I don't think I mentioned, but it's a really small one, so it'll just be cooked up and used in something. So that is what it looks like. That's what's been going on. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video and get ready to go to Pennsylvania and see our family. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.